Welcome back to our community. I'm now talking to the city manager of Coldwater, Jeff Budd. Jeff, welcome to our community.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks for having me.
Let's talk about the groundbreaking ceremony for the new Aquatic Center. I know that just recently happened, and that had to be exciting, you know, with the shovels out there and all the people, and what a great day it was.
It was a beautiful morning. Couldn't ask for better weather. The weather broke, wasn't quite so hot. So, and Dr. Brown drove down with some friends, and his son and grandson was with him. So it was a wonderful event, and just couldn't ask for a better ceremony.
All right, and kind of take me through it. So there was, so people talked about the center, and then what happened?
Yep, the ceremony started with Mayor Kramer addressing the crowd. He then had, in the session, he spoke to the advantages of what we have here in Coldwater and what this will bring to the community. We have assets, but this will bring us something that we will be good for recreation, and it's good for everybody from cradle to grave, whether you are a newborn. You can learn in swim lessons all the way up to a senior citizen who wants to do aqua aerobics. It's something that everybody's going to benefit from in our community from.
And when we talk about our community, I mean, we really are talking about the community. It's not just Coldwater.
Yeah,
this is something for everybody.
Absolutely. It's not the schools. It's just not the city of Coldwater. It will be used by everybody in the community at some point or another. Especially, obviously, the schools will benefit. They'll be able to have a swim team because the pool does have a competitive pool in it. But it's also something that because there are two pools inside this facility, there'll be a warm water pool. It'll be somebody who can use it for therapy. DAP might buy hours. The Senior Citizen Center might buy hours that they can come up and say, hey, we want this to do something special with our clients. So just like the hospital's pool is used for their therapy, this is what will be used at our pool. So it's going to be a great collaboration between the city as well as the school together combined.
All right, well, let's go out to the groundbreaking ceremony and hear from some of the dignitaries and also Dr. Brown.
Dr. Brown, there's a biblical adage that we reap what we sow. And you're a shining example of giving back and not just taking. And I very humbly and respectfully say to you, thank you very much for what you've done for this community.
Now we'll hear from Ken Kurtz, our state representative. Ken?
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Well, thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here. And Dr. Brown, if you look out to this audience that's here, we're not seeing one wet eye, but we're seeing a lot of smiling faces, are we not? When I take a look at the future swim team here, I don't want you to ever forget that this aquatic center should also be the home of all the senior swim team members too. There's enough of us here that will qualify.
Again, as I said, today provides me with an opportunity to publicly express my gratitude to the city of Coldwater and the public school system for their reception of my contribution. When this project was announced, I was overwhelmed by the thank you notes and the cards that were sent to me by both groups. I wish that Ahmed from the Lincoln Elementary School were here today. His note to me, his note of thank you to me said, "Could you come to my school so I could see you?" One classmate asked, "How did you get all that money?" Another classmate, Iman, concerned for my well-being, wrote, "I hope you still have money to buy your best things." I would tell Iman today that I would tell Iman that today marks one of my best things.
Back here talking with the city manager, Jeff Budd. And Jeff, let me ask you, did you get a chance to keep the shovel, or do you have to give it back?
No, we kept the shovel, so we got all 6 of them. So anyway, yeah, we got them. So they were actually reused, actually. So they're going to be put to work right there with Dave Sattler's crew right after the ceremony. So
well, that is excellent, because now we know our tax dollars are at work.
You got that. You got that right. So,
well, walk me through the facility as we come in the front door.
Sure. As you walk in the front door, the facility will be located by the Legg Middle School. You walk in the front door and you'll be greeted by an area that'll be to the right, which I have kind of like more of a sitting room. I always like to joke as we're watching 3D videos that the area to the right is where all the trophies already kind of have a trophy case, so all the state championships are lined up in there. You then will have an area that'll be behind the glass, so you won't have as much chlorine smell, be separated from the pool. So as you enter the concourse, you'll be able to walk around. There'll be restrooms and an elevator, and then there'll be the kind of a spirit room. And there'll also be a kind of a sitting area that if you're having a team competition, it could be used for birthday parties, could be used for just you could have a Tupperware party there, Tim. You can have all those things at that area. And the nice thing is the area is behind glass, so you can have full access and view of not only just the competitive pool, but also the therapy pool. So you'll be able to see just about the entire facility from anywhere in that top area. As you proceed through the video, then we'll actually enter into the spectator seating, which you can kind of see there. It's going to seat 250 people overlooking the pool. The seats will be there. You'll be able to see all 8 lanes right from the pool. And one thing that's important to know, I know it's been said this, an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It's really not. It's set to the state's swimming standards,
Okay.
but it is an 8-lane pool. Now, what is the difference between an 8 and 6-lane pool is that the 8-lane is a lot better for competitions. You can hold state meets there, and that'll be one of the things that'll drive some economic development. People don't think about this pool as an economic development tool, but this is going to bring in a lot of people who for district tournaments, for regionals. We would like to hold a state tournament here, but having an 8-lane pool puts us at an advantage to bring people into our community who will be here to buy gas, will buy groceries, they'll buy things and stay overnight in our hotels. So this is one of the things that is kind of a not, we thought of in those terms, that it adds a lot to our community.
Well, Jeff, when you talk about something like that, that could go right to the Heritage Park with the softball complex,
Absolutely.
with the AYSO soccer fields, with
Perfect
you're bringing people in to see what a great community we have because we've got the resources for those people to come in.
Absolutely, absolutely. We recently had a Little League softball tournament, and there was 22 teams. One team was from Chicago, another team was almost from New York. So one time you had those people, they stayed here. They stayed here,
Exactly.
spent money here, and we think the same thing's going to happen with the pool, because the pool is something that it's just not used just by schools in a 8-month period of time. It's going to be used year round, and because we have the warm water therapy pool, people will use that from birth to grave. I don't think you're going to see it ever not filled, and that is the goal is to always make sure that somebody's in that pool. Not 24/7, but for most of the, it's going to be open early in the mornings for people who want to swim laps. It'll also be open later in the evening, and then there'll be some times when it's closed. There's always maintenance issues, and again, when it's slow, we do want to keep our costs controlled, and that's one of the things that Dr. Brown is kind of giving us a legacy that we're going to have to fulfill. Dr. Brown was very concerned. He did not want to build something that would bankrupt the system. We've got agreements set up with the schools and filling Dr. Brown's wish and dream that this is something that the entire community can use. So it's going to be a wonderful asset to our whole community.
All right, so we're talking about the 8 lanes with the seating.
Yep.
Where are we going to go from there?
Yep. Actually, you'll look at from the view looking back now. You can see that the restrooms are actually the public restrooms will be behind us. This is on the first floor. There's going to be a men's, a women's, and also family changing area. It's also been designed so that everybody will have to go through a door. So you can't just run out of the bathrooms and run right into the pool
Right.
from the public side. There's also an alleyway which is highlighted by a red railing. You'll walk behind the railing, so you can actually have 2 events going on at one time. You could have a swim meet going on in the pool, but also have access to the warm water pool. The warm water pool has 2 entrances. It has one as a side door, which is at the top of the red railing. And then the second part, there's actually sliding doors that you can actually walk in. So if you want to warm up in the warm water pool and then go jump in the cold water pool, you can. Now again, there's about 4 or 5 degrees separation in temperature between them. But it's going to be a nice thing because especially swimmers, they like to warm up in a little warmer water right before they meet. Then they like to go on and swim in their competitive event.
Sure.
So we think that's kind of what's going to make this a unique facility, is that it's going to be multi-purpose. It's just not there for people to swim in a pool like you would think of if it was purely just a school pool attached to the high school. And that's one of the Dr. Brown's vision is he wanted to provide something that is there for everybody.
Well, I'm looking forward for the warm water side of
Mhm.
it because
Absolutely.
of just working out, and I
Yeah.
think that people are going to find that if you get out in that water, the therapy is just that much better because you're not putting that pressure on your legs or your arms or whatever
Right.
the case is.
Yeah, I'm a runner. I don't look like it, but I do run, and that's one of
He
the
runs a
things.
lot.
Yeah, that'd be one of the things that you would notice that it takes that weight off the joints. And Dr. Kerr has worked. She's ran pools before, and she can tell you that a lot of her athletes, when they get sore and they start having treatments, they actually go in the pool, and that they are now using that for more physical therapy at the pool. That warm water pool also has a little room off to the back of it, which has more of a flex room so you can stretch before you get in the water. It will be all wired up. There'll be TVs and monitors here, there, and everywhere. But the nice thing is if you can be in the warm water pool and still be able to look out and see, little Johnny swimming laps
Sure.
or little Susie. And there's going to be some fun things in there as well. We hope to have a zip line. There'll be volleyball and basketball. There will be hopefully an obstacle course that you can compete against other kids from around the world via the internet.
Sure.
You enter your time in the computer and they'll enter their time, and on a
Very
certain
nice.
day you can kind of race against each other. So we hope to have, there'll be some fun in there. It's just not going to be just a hole with water in it. There'll be things for people to do. We got enough deck room that people can still sit around, watch their kids play in the pool, and everything will be Wi-Fi, so you can sit there with your iPad
Ooh,
or
I like
iPod.
that.
Absolutely. So there'll be lots of fun. We're excited about. Can't wait for it to start off. And Dr. Kerr's got some great ideas, but we know that warm water pool is kind of where we're going to offset the cost of operation. So because it will be used by so many people in the community.
And then the way that'll work, people will pay either by the hour or per membership or something on that order.
Right. I don't want to speak for Dr. Kerr, but I do know that they're kind of modeling what's been done up in Manistee, as well as Charlotte, where there'll be a membership. There'll be a per visit. If somebody wanted to come in, if you had friends in from St. Louis,
Yep.
they could come in and say, hey, I want to go to the pool. You just pay them a straight daily rate.
Exactly.
There'll be fees. The city of Coldwater, we're actually contributing money into the operations to the schools so that we actually get a discounted fee from the city level. So there's real benefits of it. Just like if you'd go to any other aquatic center, you would expect to pay some fee. People talked about when I was recently at the senior center, the senior says, well, I can't afford it. Well, that's great because we need volunteers to help run the reception desk. So maybe we can, and they've done this successfully up in Manistee and Charlotte, where, I can't afford it, but, everybody can spend some time.
Sure.
So again, you don't get nothing for nothing. So that'd be one way that somebody can offset
Sure,
their costs.
volunteer, and then you'll be able to use some of the different services.
Yep,
All
absolutely.
right, so very cool. Well, that is exciting, and I know that we've talked about all the other activities that are going to go on. You said diving boards, scuba lessons, all kinds of activities for moms and babies, and so it's really just a great benefit to the community. And
Absolutely.
Congratulations,
Thank you very much,
because
Tim.
it happened in your home.
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely helps.
All right, City Manager Jeff Budd with me here today talking about the new Aquatic Center and also the addition coming up to Heritage with the Rec Center. I'm Tim Hart, and we've got more coming up. Stay with us.